Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to my YouTube channel. This is TTXGP Matters on YouTube. I'll be posting videos on Facebook as well. This is just a brief wrap-up of what's happened in the last, well, it's supposed to have been what's happened in the last week or two. But since it's my first one and there hasn't been much news, it's kind of what's been going on in the last month. This is November 9th, 2016. Welcome. First things first, Bramo. Well, they don't make motorcycles anymore. They Polaris bought up the production. There are rumors on the Bramo owners forum that are completely unsubstantiated. No offense to the person who made the statement, just there hasn't been any evidence as of yet. Last I checked, that Victory has dropped the Impulse TT. So Bramo was making them, sold the production line to Polaris, which was building the Impulse, took the Bramo Impulse, made the Impulse TT, did a small update, a little bigger battery pack, produced them for a year, and as the Victory Impulse TT, and now the rumor is that they're not making them anymore. Huge rumor, completely unsubstantiated. But given a recent report of the hard times and layoffs going on, would not surprise me at all. Which is a huge bummer. Bramo was behind their racing efforts at the Isle of Man the last 2 years and Pikes Peak this year. So I guess maybe they've been making the Impulse TT for 2 years now. No, I don't. Yeah, it doesn't matter. So that's more Polaris news. And Bramo news, they recently supplied the batteries and motors, from what I understand, for a fully functioning electric helicopter. So congratulations to the guys at Bramo. Booed all the haters who were like, Sikorsky did it first. Yes, but it didn't have a Bramo powertrain, which was the whole point of Bramo bringing it up in the first place. Zero just released their 2017 lineup. Well, maybe not all the specs, but there's some stuff on YouTube. They have been seriously active on YouTube. Very, very active. Really short little videos. Just teaser stuff, really, but like a couple of videos every month. If you go on the YouTube channel, there's like 3-4 videos a month for the past 6 months. So that's a much bigger social presence than I think I've seen them have. But it works for them. Energica is being sold. Energica is the brand under the CRP. If you remember way back in the early days of the FIM series, they raced in the FIM series in Europe, and I think they did the TTXGP as well. And man, I'm not as sharp as I used to be, guys. Sorry. We'll get there again. So they came out with the Energica a long time ago. I thought it was going to be called the CRP Energica. They turned the Energica into a brand. Maybe it was a plan all along. And now you have the Ego and the Eva, which is the Street Fighter form. Everybody's drilling over those. Everybody who's ridden the Energica, the Ego, so Energica Ego, is floored. It's 136 horsepower, plenty of range, 11.4 kilowatt-hour pack off. Just not even sure that's right, but somewhere in there. So a really good size pack, tons of power, DC fast charging, which nobody has. Just got level 2 on the Bramo. Oh no, you can get DC fast charging on a Zero for an extra like $2,000 or $1,500. But anyway, yeah. So and well, to be fair to Zero, I believe the Energica Ego comes in 2 levels, and the higher spec model has the DC charging, so fair is fair. You can get those at Hollywood Electrics. I know there's a U.S. distributor working to bring them across. I don't know if Hollywood Electrics is the only dealership or not, but that still remains to be seen. Lightning, my notes here. Are they still full of it? These guys, they have a bike that you can buy. I think you have to wait a year before it shows up. I don't know how many they've actually sold. We've seen people test ride the thing. It is sexy looking. It is the most powerful. It is more powerful than Energica. It's a 200 horsepower beast. And it can come in a few different battery pack configurations, so it can have a whole lot more range than the Energica as well as a lot more weight, depending on your battery pack configuration that you pay for. So the Energica from was the Translogic test rider said the Energica was the most mass production ready of the electric superbikes that he's ridden as of yet. And of course, my screen's gone blank. Here we go. So, you know, you hear some rumblings here and there. Whatever happened to the small bikes? We don't know what happened to small bikes. It's just a little trickle of news, and yet, you know. Racing news. December 18th on Sunday, there will be an El Moto. I like to say E-Moto, really. Track day at Jennings GP in North Florida. So if you own a Zero or the like, then by all means, showing up to those guys. And it's going to should be a few of the guys who should be mostly the guys who race in the E-Moto series that the Arma puts on. So yeah, there's that. That's about as big. All of the seasons are over as far as I know. I don't know what's going on in Australia. I guess we'll check that here in a minute. E-Moto racing here in the US, season's over. And the last race that was updated on their webpage was the 5th race of the season, and there's like 10. So I got no idea what is going on there. If you check their Facebook page, E-Moto Racing, if you follow that, you get a lot more content. They've started doing some rider profiles and things like that. But otherwise than that, yeah, the season's over, and I don't even know who the champion is. I did notice within the first 5 races that it's a bit of a Bramo series. Some Zeros showed up, some FXs were there. They're finishing in the back. There was a guy with an SR who finished in the back of the pack for I think the first race he showed up, and then after that was winning. So if this is I like to think it's an apples to apples, but I do know that all of those folks that race in that series are kind of on different levels of modifications and hot rodding. So I'm not sure it's a complete apples to apples comparison to the Bramo to the Zero, but it does look like it's the Zero v Bramo showdown we've all been waiting for. And I don't think there's any video of it, so I guess it didn't happen. I don't know. Oh, but one thing that the E-Moto Racing Series does really well, unlike keeping their website up to date, is the 2017 race schedule is already out, which is just ecstatic. And open link. Here we go. Let me get it right here. There we go. Race 1, Roebling Road. Race 2, NOLA in New Orleans. Race 3 will be Willow Springs. Race 4, Sonoma. Race 5, Gingerman Raceway. By the way, the first race of the year is February 24th. And then a month later, March 31st. And then a month later, April 22nd. And then April 27th is Sonoma. Gingerman Raceway, I've never heard of before. It's June 2nd to the 4th. Road America. Oh, God, that'll be fun. June 9th to the 11th. New Jersey Motorsports Park, which is also where they've been doing the big college competition every year. That's usually a pretty good race, from what I understand, as far as participants showing up. You know, that's in July, and then you skip forward a month and a half until September, beginning of September, at Utah Motorsports Park. And then Talladega Grand Prix Raceway the next weekend. And then the final race of the year, October 5th through the 8th at Barber Motorsports Park, which does remind me. There we go. Those are my notes. Hollywood Electric showed up to the Barber Motorsports Park with a SR, Zero SR. I have no idea how modified it is, but knowing Hollywood Electrics, it's highly within the rules, I'm sure, but highly modified. And apparently, it didn't just blow every electric bike off the track. It passed 30 some odd bikes total. Because when they do these club races, it's not like AMA Superbike Racing. where, you know, there's only one class on the track at a time. What they'll do is they'll send one class out 10 seconds later, 20 seconds later, to send another class out. And so you're out there racing, and so you're racing other people. You end up maybe possibly catching the classes in front of you. But really, you're still just racing other electric buddies. So that's pretty funny. Probably he passed so many people because they couldn't hear him coming. But, you know, c'est la vie. Oh, yeah, and the weird thing is I can't access this year's schedule or any past year's schedule on the eMoto Racing website. eMotoracing.com is the website, /calendar. All it lets you see is the new 2017, so I can't access any of that stuff. Moto E over in Europe, I don't know much. Their website is just as not up to date as eMoto Racing's. I'm looking at you, Rupel. Website, yeah. Facebook isn't as good as eMoto Racing's, so there's some stuff on there, but I still don't know who the champion is. We've got 2 series that have ended. I don't know who the champion is. Got no idea. I know there's Nottingham University's got a pretty sweet bike. I know JJ scored his first win a month or so ago. I'm pretty sure. I could be wrong. Again, the website's crap, so I couldn't double check my facts. And JJ posts a lot on Facebook, so finding that was going to take forever. Jeremiah Johnson, by the way, is JJ. Let's see here. Facebook's iffy. Yeah. There's not much going on. Aussies. Hey, somebody who's doing the EFX series down there, I know nobody's covering them anymore. Could somebody drop me a line? Make a comment in the comments below. Or, you know, email me, richard@esbk.co. Let me know what's going on. Just send me a link. Oh, if you have a link, put it in the comments so everybody can see it. But yeah, I mean, if you got a link or something so that we kind of know somehow, what's going on. So that's all the racing news. Now it brings me to the big news. What in tarnation could bring Richard Dort, the curmudgeon, you know, enthusiast turned curmudgeon? If you have read any of my blog posts, every time I try to write a blog post, it's just vitriol seems to come out. What could possibly bring me out of quasi-retirement, whatever? Well, the fact that it's impossible to find news in any particular source, so you have to like scour for it again. The other thing is Alta Motors. They used to be called something cooler. I don't remember what it was, but it was definitely not as lame as Alta Motors. But that's their name now. Their red shift, after years, literally years of like excitement and cool articles and awesome videos and people raving about the bike, the prototype, is finally ready for production. I saw a YouTube video where they said we will be delivering bikes to dealers in the near future. I mean, I think it's this fall, in a couple of months. I mean, very, very close. Not only that, they've finally done something that Zero hasn't done, and even Bramo hasn't done. They've gone head-to-head with production motorcycles. Now, Bramo, you're going to be like, wait, Bramo went head-to-head with production motorcycles in the AFM series. And they weren't necessarily going up against the big boys. What Alta Motors has done and Zero has done, they've done a lot of hair scrambles and things like that. I've never seen them in a moto. What they have done is they've actually got the red shift up against 250s in the Red Bull Straight Rhythm. And they got into the finals. They didn't even finish last in the finals. I can't remember where they were. I don't think they were third. They were like mid-pack, fifth or something. But it was a serious representation. They were there on Red Bull TV, on national news, and electric motorcycle, going head-to-head with gas bikes, and in a lot of cases whooping their butts. I believe the rider's name is Josh Hill. I know nothing about dirt bike racing. Apparently, he's an absolute phenomenal rider. Apologize to those motocross fans out there who are like, well, duh. I don't know. Yeah, so yeah, delivery soon. They finally are going to deliver these things? Finally, after how many years? Apologize, didn't mean to shake the camera. Yeah, it's incredible news, and it's about time. Although from what they're saying, they're still claiming they've got the most energy dense, I think, battery pack and motor in the EV world. I'm like, well, you've been saying this for years. I kind of want to, I want to know how and why. I want to see some numbers before I go, oh yeah, you're right. Because there's a lot of really good companies out there. I'm not saying their batteries aren't more energy dense than Bramo, but Bramo's, there was an article I got to read recently, very brief, saying that as soon as Bramo got rid of their motorcycle production and was concentrating just on powertrains, they nailed like 54 million in contracts, like that. So although I do have to respect the Ultimotors guys, watching some of the interviews, Trans World Motocross interview was really good with their CTO. It really sounds like they really baked their technology good and long, which is infuriating for most of us, as you can tell. But I'm really hoping it's paid off in the long run for them, and I'm really happy for them, and I really hope that they come up with that electric VFR they were talking about at one of the talks they gave at a university many years ago, when they kind of laid out their basic plan. So that's it for today. Not much going on. I mean, even when you go and let's see here, we got E-Cycle Garage. Last thing they posted was October 4th. Yeah, E-Moto Racing. Oh yeah, there's this guy, Seth LaForge, who's trying to resurrect the old Mission R electric superbike. That was posted on July 23rd, and there's been no update since. Nothing, nada. It's months later. It's 5 months later, four months later, and there's no nothing. There's August 2nd, July 26th, August 1st, August 8th, October 25th. Oh, there's an update. Okay, October 25th. My developmental stress has much more to do with my available time than funding. For me, this is just a one-off project. If any more motorcycles are to be made, Vayon will have to make it happen. Vayon bought all the resources of the now defunct Mission Motors and Mission Motorcycles. So there's that. Electric Motorcycle Frontier, October 31st was the stuff about the Redshift. Yeah, here's yet another recall for Zero Motorcycles. Yeah, there's some snares. So, you know, if you want more details, go hunt them down. E-Cycle Garage and Electric Vehicle Frontier, and even the E-Moto Racing, the European Series Facebook page. Roop will post a lot of interesting links and news. So until next time, keep your rubber side down, folks. I appreciate you watching. Bye-bye.